Okay, so in this video I want to share with you my top 5 favorite things and also my top 5 least favorite things about this phone here, the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 here. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, the first one here is going to be a very obvious one. It is the design of this phone, right? It folds, or it flips open, whatever you want to call it. It's cutting edge technology. I like the fact that it's fold. Now it's not new because obviously last year we had the previous version of this one, and we also have the Motorola, and we have a few folding and flipping phones out there, but this one is very well improved. It's sturdier, is IPX8 rated, so now you have some level of water resistance. Don't just dunk it in water and just call it a day, but you have some level of resistance. So I just like what they've been doing with the design of this phone. They've improved it so much, and that's one of my favorite things about this phone here. Now, the next thing here is going to be the price point. Now, if you remember the first one, I didn't own that one, but I believe it was selling for a little over $1,400. I think it was like $1,450 for the original Galaxy Z Flip. This guy here comes out at $999, and of course Samsung is known for its amazing trade-in program. So if you were to come with a phone, at least if you did the way I did it, I got like $600. I ended up paying like $150 for this, well, $150 on top of the phone that I was trading in. They have an amazing trade-in program. Right now, I believe it's selling at a discounted price of $899. And I think for something like this, for something that's cutting-edge technology, like I like to call it, so for the newer generation of foldable phones, that's a price that's really changing things, right? So we've always known these phones to be expensive. When the first generations came out, the Galaxy Z Fold was at $2,000. We've known those things to be generally very expensive, but for Samsung to go ahead and drop the price to something that you can actually call affordable, right? You have a bunch of flagship devices out there with the traditional form factor that costs, $1,000. I don't want to name them, but there's a bunch of phones out there that cost $1,000. So with $1,000, you'll be able to get this guy here, and it will introduce you to the newer generation of foldable phones. Anyway, so the next here is going to be the overall platform, right? Now, this guy is loaded with a really powerful chipset. You have a Snapdragon 888 there. That's going to allow you to do quite a few things. It's a top level Android platform right there, and it's running Android 11, and you have One UI 3.1 sitting on there. It's pretty fluid. Everything here works. Everything here is so freaking snappy. It's a flagship phone, and you should expect it to perform just like a flagship phone, because that's what it's been doing right now. I haven't encountered any type of stutter or lags or anything like that. It's been performing so very well. Very, very fast phone for day-to-day tasks, medium tasks, like I like to say, heavy tasks. It would power through all of those. And by the way, if this is your first time visiting and you like the content so far, please don't forget to hit both the like and the subscribe button there. I truly appreciate that. Now, the next one here, or my fourth favorite thing about this phone here, is just the different level or the different modes that you can have with this phone, right? Given just the design of the phone itself, you can do a number of things. I find myself working on the computer a lot of the time. So what I do, flex mode is just something that I use a lot. And quite a few people who were just newly introduced to this phone have discovered that and absolutely love that mode. So it's just when you put your phone sitting this way and just watch a video, and you can do something else. But typically what I do is I just have it sit this way on YouTube, and I could just put that right below my computer monitor, and I could be doing work, and I just have my earphones on, and I can watch the video, listen to music, whatever the case may be. I absolutely love that. You also have the flexibility to just keep it folded and use the main camera to take pictures of yourself. That is also another just very, very nice thing about this phone. I like this display, this cover display here. Very cool if you're on the go, you're on the road, you're going somewhere, or even if you don't feel like opening your phone, you want to check your messages real quick, double tap and just start swiping. Whatever setup you have there, you'll be able to access that quickly without necessarily having to open the phone and open, the whole application. So it's really, really cool, and it comes in very handy, believe it or not. And my fifth favorite thing about this phone here is just the color options, right? There's just a variety of colors available. I went for this midnight green, or this military green, like I like to call it, but I believe Samsung just calls it green, right? So you also have the phantom black, the cream, which is pretty popular. The cream color is very, very popular. You have the lavender. Lavender is also very popular. You have a gray, you have the pink color, and you also have the color white. And a bunch of people actually call that panda. That thing looks beautiful. But anyway, so those are my top favorite things about the Z Flip 3 here. Let's go ahead and talk about my least favorite things, on my top 5 least favorite things. And the very first one is going to be one that I've actually made a video on. It is the battery, right? So it's loaded with a 3300 milliamp battery. So the same battery as the one from last year, and sure, it's been improved, you know, slightly improved, right? So you get a little bit more battery life out of this compared to the previous version. I personally never owned one, but I know people who own the previous version, the original Flip, and they say that the current battery here is actually, you know, compared to that, is not bad. But, you know, overall, it's still really tough to go through the whole day with this phone, especially if you power user. If you kind of like a light to medium, you might make it to maybe early evening, late afternoon, early evening, but the battery is not, you know, it's just not that great on here. I just wish it had better battery, but my hope is that next year, well, the next generation is going to have a better battery here. Anyway, the next thing here is going to be the lack of Samsung DeX support. This is a flagship phone, unfortunately, and I suspect it's because of the battery, right? Because Samsung DeX does eat up battery, especially if you're going to be using your phone a lot to do those high productivity things. But the fact that it doesn't have Samsung DeX is kind of a disappointment, because you spend $1,000 for something like this. You expect for Samsung to just kind of throw all of those flagship things, all of those flagship features at the phone. So the lack of Samsung DeX support is one thing that I really wish it had, right? My hope is still that, just like it was the case with the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, they bring, you know, through software update, they can, you know, enable the Samsung DeX support on this phone. Now, the next here is going to be the crease, right? So it doesn't bother me that much, because I got used to it using the Galaxy Z Fold 2. You know, it's still there, you know, when you, especially when you scroll up and down, you can feel it on the display there. But you know, I wish it weren't there. I'm hoping that the technology gets, you know, it gets better, and they find a way to minimize it even more, to minimize that feel even more, and, you know, potentially get rid of it. So that's my third one there. Now, the next one is going to be the fact that you don't have super fast charging on here. Now, remember, I mentioned the battery doesn't really last that well, as long as, you know, the more traditional larger phones or more traditional flagship phones. And it would have been nice if it were, you know, super fast charge capable. You can fast charge it at up to 15 watts. So it takes a little while to get back up. I wish it was something you could supercharge at like 45, you know, hypercharge, let's call it, at 45 watt. But, you know, that's one of the things that I don't like about this one, is that, you know, fast charge is really not that fast. Plus, you don't even get a charger in the box, right? So that's a bonus there. So you don't even get a charger in the box, and you can't even fast charge it. So that's a bonus, one feature that I don't like about this phone there. And finally, of course, my number 5 least favorite thing about this phone is the non-expandable internal storage, right? So I got this as 128 gigs. That's all I got. You know, I don't have the ability to expand that. Something that's, it's fairly new. You know, Samsung started that, I believe, with the new generation of phones this year, I think. Unless they had it, well, they have it on the Galaxy Z Fold 2, but, you know, so that's kind of a new thing that they're doing, and I do not like that. But anyway, so those were my top 5 favorite and also my top 5 least favorite things about the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 here. It's still a great phone. I still love it. I'm still going to keep it. It's still going to be one of the, I'm always going to carry this phone along with whichever other phone I carry, because I typically carry 2 phones a day. But anyway, hoping you enjoyed this video here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, of course, comment. I'm going to catch you in the comment section. Make sure to share the video if you know anyone who would be interested in buying this phone. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.